Hey guys, injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here. I am on my way to work at what is commonly known as 0 dark 30 or dark o'clock. I read that in military books. Never served in the military myself, but I think it's a clever phrase. What is the difference between Illinois workers' comp and workers' comp in other places? Well, the reason I'm answering this question is because I do get a lot of people who contact me out of state. So, in the United States, a lawyer is licensed in the state where he practices or she practices. And comp law, workers' comp law, is state specific. So that means if you are in Idaho or you are in California or Texas or New York, your workers' comp laws are different than the workers' comp laws I talk about in my videos. Now, the concepts are usually the same because here's how workers' comp got passed. Some states passed a law, and then other states, when it was their turn to pass some workers' comp laws, they looked at other states' laws and sort of, template that stuff, right? But as we discuss in these cases, it's the details that matter. The details of the law matter, and the details of your case matter. So in Illinois, as I've explained, if you got hurt at work with a doctor's note, you get 2/3 of your pay while you're off work. Sometimes we have to fight about it. It's not automatic. You're entitled to have your related medical doctor bills paid. And at the end of the case, you get a lump sum of money that pays you for the change in your body, right? The change of your capacity to do work. In other states, the biggest one is, in Illinois, you have a right to a lawyer. And I will tell you that California and Texas and several other states have revised their workers' comp laws so that now, instead of you picking a lawyer, some person, you basically get a state bureaucrat, not a judge, a state bureaucrat, to sort of look at the case and decide whether the medical care is necessary and whether it's related and whether it's, all that stuff. So my point is, in those other states, you can't get an advocate. And it's a state bureaucrat. Now, I don't mean to criticize all state bureaucrats. There's some good ones out there. But anybody who's ever worked in the government or knows people who worked in the government, boy, a lot of the times those people are just there for their 9 to 5 and pick up their paycheck and adios muchacho, right? So I get a lot of calls from, even though I'm in Illinois, I get a lot of calls from people from other states who say, I'm really hurt, I can't work, but the state has denied my benefits. And there's, I've got friends all over the country, so if you're hurt in a state other than Illinois, I've got people I can send you to, and not just some jerk, like really good lawyers. Lawyers who I've seen perform, and they're really good. I'd never send somebody to a bad lawyer. But I get a lot of calls from injured workers from other states where the lawyer has been cut out of the process. And, basically the way it works is, instead of it being like having a hearing and all that stuff, they literally the bureaucrat makes the decision, right? And supposedly they're not on your side or the other side, but the other side has representatives that go there all the time, and they get chummy with the bureaucrat. Or it's a big employer and they don't want to scare the employer out of the country or out of the state. So it's hard to get a fair shake. At least in Illinois, if the company's not paying, you have a right to either go in front of a judge yourself or hire a lawyer to do it for you. In these other states, they don't. And I would say that's the number one difference between workers' comp in Illinois and some other states. Now, I don't mean to say all other states are like that. There's lots of other states that, that do, handle things similar to Illinois, or they have a program or a process Sorry, it's raining outside and my windshield's getting foggy. All right, now it's not. I turned it down. Um, Other states have good systems too, but these states where, like California, Texas, boy, there's some other states too. There's several states where workers' comp has basically been chopped to pieces. You have no right to an attorney. It's just some bureaucrat that gets appointed, and if it's a conservative state administration, you're not going to get a lot of help. So even though workers' comp, work injury cases are a fight in the state of Illinois, uh, that doesn't mean we shouldn't count our lucky stars. That you still have a right to have a contested hearing instead of just a bureaucrat telling you no. And then when the bureaucrat tells you no in another state, what do? There's nothing you can do. You have to accept it. So I think it's terrible what other states do. Again, there are some good states, but if you have any, I feel like it got a little confused at the end because I had to do the window thing, but I can't drive down the street and not see. We're lucky to have the system we have in Illinois. They've changed it over the years to make it harder and harder for the injured worker. But if you've been hurt at work, this is not the worst state to be in. You at least have a fighting chance here. So that's the biggest difference between Illinois and some other states. Thanks for watching. Take care.